we're here.
Music.
Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where two mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now, here are your hosts, Darth Jada and Jason Mitchell.
All right, let's do it.
We're here again for some reason. Here we go. If this gives you any hint as to what kind of a movie that we're doing this
Navy
week.
SEALs?
Yes.
Are we doing Navy SEALs?
We're doing
I love
Strike
that
Zone! Wait.
Again.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? I thought we were doing Strike Zone. What are we doing? I'm confused.
We are doing one of my favorite movies. And
One of your favorites.
I genuinely, absolutely adore this movie. The title is kind of complicated. It's the Concorde, ...
I'm gonna
Airport, single quote, 79.
Yes.
Yeah.
Starring like everyone.
Yeah.
Like literally
and their
everyone.
mom. Yeah, it.
Charo, even.
Very briefly.
Yeah.
Yes, Gloria from Modern Family is in it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That's a running joke. She's like Charo.
Yeah.
Oh, she's like Charo.
She's like
I was
Charo.
going to say,
No,
that's
it's
not
not- it's
Charo
not- it's
on
not
Modern
actually
Family
Charo,
at
no.
all. No.
No.
She's married to that guy from True Blood. I need you to calm down.
I mean, I can't even look the list of people. David Warner, George Kennedy, Jimmy
Walker.
Dynamite.
Monica Lewis.
Dynamite.
Nicholas
Jimmy
Coster.
J.J. Walker.
Now, were you familiar with Dynamite when I sent you that?
No.
Really?
That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, wait. Dynamite.
Yes,
oh,
Dynamite,
yeah, absolutely.
yes.
That I
Okay.
know.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
you
T-shirts, mugs, glasses.
Yes, okay. I know Dynamite. Yeah, I definitely do. It's just because I was raised right, gentlemen. Here's the thing is that I was raised by Morgan Rogers. So I grew up with Mr. Rogers, Dick Van Dyke, all that classic stuff. Mushmouth, like Dynamite, all that awesome stuff. So, yeah.
So did all the people who live near you say they lived in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
They wish. It was sort of a joke. So here's the thing that happened when
Sorry,
I was...
your lower third went up again.
I was in third grade, I want to say, and my dad actually used to wear the Cosby kind of Mr. Rogers sweaters that were really pop. They both wore them.
Yeah,
okay?
I know, yeah.
Did he enjoy pudding pops?
Don't make me smack
Remember,
you.
silence is consent.
Don't make me smack you.
I saw that on the sign.
Don't make me smack you. Anyway, Mr. Rogers, my
We're
Mr.
already
Rogers.
so off topic.
Yeah, we are. My Mr. Rogers showed up to my third grade class to read to us because all the parents took turns doing that. And he wore a kind of Mr. Rogers sweater, and all the kids flipped out and they asked for my dad to give them an autograph because Mr. Rogers is coming to read to us today. And so, yeah, I'm familiar with some old school stuff. It's cool.
Okay.
So anyway, what movie are we watching today? Thanks
We
to
are-
you, Mr. Brown.
And I have to
Yes.
thank you, Mr. Brown, because I can't express how much I just love this movie. This is the fourth in the franchise, in the airport cinematic universe.
He chose what even is the fourth movie? It's not a sequel. It's what's
quadricle?
quadricle? What do you call it?
I don't know. It's the movie where
Anyway.
they actually had to lease a Concorde. The production company had to lease a Concorde, which should tell you if you've got the money to lease a Concorde, the previous three movies had to have been a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And in fact, the first, okay, so this is the airport.
hot
I know.
air balloon.
The fourth of the airport trilogy, Airport 1975,
Yeah.
77,
Right?
and then 79.
79.
Way before Darth
Yeah.
was ever born, hindsighters.
I was just born when this movie came out. Yeah, I was a wee little baby. David Warner.
Yes.
I mean, it's got everyone
amazing,
in
yes.
I love David
He
Warner.
is fantastic.
St. John Talbot from
Everybody does a
Star
fantastic
Trek
job.
5.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, Star Trek 5.
Oh my God, that's where I know him from.
Yeah.
No, because I was watching this movie and I was like, holy shit, I know a lot of these people. I just don't know where from. So, okay.
Isn't the Concorde the most amazing?
It's the most beautiful. Yeah. There's
plane.
never. Yeah.
Oh,
It's clearly in Connecticut.
Yeah. There has never been an airplane as beautiful as the Concorde.
No, absolutely not.
And
It's
when you see one, which I know in the U.S., there's one at the USS, the one in New York, the Intrepid.
Yep.
There's one at the Udvar-Hazy Museum in Dulles, actually.
You seem to know all about this.
But let me ask you this. Do you guys know why you will never be able to see that particular Concorde?
Do tell.
Oh.
That is the Concorde in this movie, the one they leased, is the one that crashed.
Oh no!
At the end in the snowdrift. Yes, I remember that part.
Yes.
And then it blew up.
Yes.
And it was gone.
This is actually
strike.
Yeah,
This is the Concorde that crashed?
it's the one. Yeah, this is the one that was the beginning of the end for Concorde. Was
Wow.
the tire exploded and it damaged so much of the aircraft. That's actually the one. Pope John Paul II flew on that plane.
Really?
Yeah. So
See, I have no notes, as you hindsighters may or may not notice, and which is unusual for Darth, because I know nothing about this movie, and I didn't even know where to watch it until about 2 hours ago. So Adam called me and told me where I can actually stream it.
which is so weird because Airport, the original one, 10 Academy Awards or 10 Academy Award nominations.
I was about to say, that's
I don't
a
know how
lot.
many it won, but it was nominated for 10.
Wow.
I mean, that movie had everyone. If Dean Martin was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airport 77, Charlton Heston was in it.
He was the pilot, I
Yep.
believe.
No,
You
sorry.
damn
75.
dirty ape.
Oh, that's right.
75. 77, the
That
captain.
He was a vampire. Was it?
yes. Airport 77, the Omega Man.
Yes.
Well, we have first of all, we have to tell the hindsighters. So we're kicking off Disaster Month, and we don't know what other disaster movies we're going to do so far, but this was Mr. Brown's pick, and this is what we're starting with. And next week we'll be kicking off with Airplane. So 2 airplane movies in a row. Very exciting.
Which brings up a useful piece of trivia. People think that Airplane is a spoof of the Airport franchise.
Yes.
And that makes sense, but it isn't. It's actually a spoof of a movie from the 60s called 0 Hour,
Ooh.
which was the screenplay was written by, and I'm drawing a blank now, the guy who wrote the book Airport, which became the
I don't know
basis
any
for
of
all
those.
4 of
It's
these.
just-
He wrote the screenplay for 0 Hour.
They know
The
this.
the main character in 0 Hour was actually named Ted Stryker.
Nice.
Yeah. His wife was Ellen. Like, it's literally Airplane, but a serious movie. And the
It all
plot
works out,
tracks
yeah.
the same way too. The fish is what makes everybody sick and all that stuff. So yeah, it's not the Airport series. It's 0 Hour.
What a great
Yeah.
story. So, Mr. Brown, why don't you tell us why you picked this movie?
All right, I'll tell you. I was always a fan of the Airport series of films because they came out just about every 2 or 3 years. So I watched them on HBO. I didn't see them when they first came out in the theater, but as a child, I just remember watching them and loving them. And then this one, I was a young child too. I loved it extraordinarily because I love the Concorde, but I'll never forget my friend's dad, he was a big pilot and everything. He said, "There's no way that the Concorde would be able to pull up faster than an F4 Phantom." Which is impressive. And also,
Nope.
he also said at 1,000 miles an hour, if you stuck your arm out the window to shoot a flare,
God.
it would tear your arm
Yeah.
completely off. So,
Yeah, a little, yeah.
but it was great for kids because you had jets.
Oh,
B,
yeah.
you had naked women in
Yes.
hot tubs.
He never picks movies with naked
We all
women
would
and
love
hindsighters.
to interview. By the way, is it her? I think it's her because there's 2. There's the
So give us some context, or should I do my Darth thing?
Yeah,
Because
well,
now
okay,
we've got a
tell them what we're
gentleman.
saying.
We've got a gentleman approaching a Russian lady in
Yeah.
in a hot tub.
Who is, and I don't remember if it's her or if it's the. It's got to be her.
Big
No,
ass
it has
hot
to be
tub
her.
too. It's like it's
She was
huge.
also the star of another franchise. She was the main actress in another little franchise called Emmanuel. Aha! I knew you would remember it.
I remember
Yes.
that one, but not many people in our audience.
You don't know
probably have seen
Emmanuel.
it. It was behind the green door.
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
I know a lot
Emmanuel
of
in
stuff, and I love you both,
Space.
but I don't know everything that you.
It was.
Know. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you know
I
Red
just-
Shoe Diaries?
No.
Oh, then
Go on with your
know.
story. Go on with
It
your
was
story.
X-rated.
Yeah, it
We'll
was
leave
X-rated.
at
It was
Okay.
very arty.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was
It was
arty.
classy.
Yeah.
It was not hardcore.
There were boobs.
Right, it wasn't
Is
hardcore.
what I'm
she was in Kama Sutra and she was in all the Emmanuel movies.
Wow. Well, look
So-
at her. They're kissing in the hot tub with tongue
Yeah.
right
Oh,
now.
I snorted.
She's actually practicing her.
Yeah.
Well, because here's something that I heard the
I
other
love
day.
this scene.
Yeah, it's
This
great
is a scene I did not get when I was a kid. When she pushes his head
It
underwater.
wasn't on the TV cut version.
Yeah.
No,
the
but
water, it tickles.
This is something that I learned, gentlemen, from Zach Braff of all people, who has his own podcast. They're rewatching Scrubs. Him and Donald Faison, and what's happening is Zach Braff explained the other day that when there's an open mouth kiss, there's no tongue involved. You open your mouth to make it look like there's tongue involved, but apparently there's not.
Has Mr. Braff heard of the 1970s?
I don't think he was acting during then.
Because that rule did not apply back then.
No, clearly that's what I was trying to get around to,
Yeah.
but you squashed my point all over the place. So thanks,
Thank you.
Jason.
Well, and I think actors can work it out beforehand how
Right.
intimate they want their kisses to
Yeah.
be.
Okay, then.
It is true. Yes.
Because
I
I'm telling
bet.
you right now, I would give.
We've been
I would,
there, if you
yeah.
recall.
Have we?
I'm just telling you both. I would give so much tongue to the Concorde.
Oh,
I would go to town on that.
I'll never actually let anyone know how much tongue I got slipped.
hush.
Do I have? Wait, hang on a second.
It was Shakespeare.
Quick, put the
It
subscribe
was
button up.
done
Put the
professionally.
subscribe button up to cover their shame.
But you know, you think the '70s was a decade of really kind of raunchy films.
Oh, yeah.
Even mainstream films were pretty raunchy. I mean, you had Blazing Saddles, you had
Blazing
you know,
Saddles.
Young Frankenstein, and some of the innuendos they made here, not even subtle innuendos.
Oh no, not innuendo. Just explicitly saying it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
That's from Scrubs.
Well,
But
Don't worry about it.
But then we had Tailhook in the '80s, if
Yeah.
you recall. And I'm wearing my naval aviator outfit. It's the closest thing I could come to
I'm wearing his
a
hat.
commercial pilot. This is actually a naval aviator's
no, wait a minute.
warfare pin. I know.
Yeah, hang on a second.
I didn't necessarily.
I'm
wear this one,
bitten.
but I kind of look like a pilot. But this, if I don't move too much, this was actually the same uniform I wore
That's true.
many moons ago. So it's kind of tight.
Wait,
But-
maybe that's Emmanuel. One of them is. One of the brunettes in this. I'm pretty sure it's the Russian one.
What is it with brunette?
Yeah.
You're married to a brunette. You should notice a brunette when you see one.
But there's two, and I can't remember. She was the French actress. Her career wasn't nearly as broad, shall we say, as the Russian actress.
God.
Wait a
But-
minute. You just made a pun?
Yes. I want to talk about the cast though, because
never
one
does
one of the advantages of this era is that they can just throw people in, and it's like, oh God, it's Jimmy Walker. How awesome is that?
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Martha Ray.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, George Kennedy, the great, the legendary Mr. Edward Albert.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, who is, everybody knows. Well, did you know Green Acres? Surely.
Green Acres is the place
Yes.
to be. Yes.
See, but that's what everybody
I never
knows.
liked Green Acres, but I know Green Acres. Yeah.
Well, moving from Manhattan to Georgia, I now fully understand
Yeah.
the theme behind that. New York is where I'd rather stay.
Farm living is the life for me.
Yeah.
But
No, it's all about unincorporated territory, Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
You don't understand yet.
I understand.
Arnold Ziffel. No, but Eddie Albert, everybody thinks of him as, this sort of jovial, nice guy from that. And then you don't realize that Eddie Albert was in so many movies and like really serious, hard-edged movies. I mean, did either of you ever see the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds?
absolutely.
I knew you did.
Yes, absolutely.
I have not seen it in a long time.
Was he the warden?
He was the warden.
He was the warden.
Yeah,
That's right.
he was the one at the end. He was telling the guard to shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
shoot
right.
him. And
Yeah,
then Burt
all
Reynolds
right.
just picks up the football.
I remember
Yeah.
now that y'all
Yeah.
said something, but it's not
Let's
fresh.
get to the twist.
What the twist?
The plot of the movie has just arrived.
Yes.
And that is Robert Wagner,
Mm-hmm.
who is Elon Musk, only evil.
With
not
the
really
serial
evil.
killer
He's
glasses.
an arms dealer.
Yeah, he's an arm.
But with the
yeah.
serial killer glasses, you gotta have those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
But he only wears them for reading.
Yes.
He explicitly says that in the movie. I
Yes.
only wear these for reading.
That's so true. Mr.
And,
Parker.
and evidently for shooting himself in the face, which he
Yes.
does at a later point. Which, if I was going to kill myself, spoiler
Wait,
alert.
okay, I've got to give it to this lady who ran
She's
up the
awesome.
stairs. She's like the freaking $6 million
Yeah.
man.
No, this
she
woman
just
is
avoided
awesome.
being shot like 3 times while
She's
running up the stairs.
This woman survives an assassination attempt,
yes.
being attacked by a drone,
Mm-hmm.
being attacked by a fighter, by an F-4 Phantom.
and-
She basically
And a
goes
crash.
full Ian Hunt, full James Bond.
Ethan Hunt.
What did I say?
Ian.
Oh shit! Sorry,
Ethan
Ethan Hunt. And
Tiny Tom Cruise would be so mad at you.
well, he's tinier than I am. I could take him.
By far.
Anyway,
But he'll sick the Church of Spaceship and Beep Boop hat on you.
well, fortunately for me, I've got my 2 nerdy boys to defend me. Anyway, so she does defend herself and runs away and does not get shot running up a staircase. That's the most impressive one to me.
Well, it's
to be
convenient.
perfectly honest.
He's out of bullets.
Yeah,
If I'm honest,
That's true.
It's a revolver. Why did you bring a revolver?
A revolver with a silencer.
Yes.
yeah, that's
Doesn't
true.
work. It
I
just
don't know.
doesn't work.
She didn't have a spare Magnum.
Yeah. She climbs up on top of a greenhouse,
Yes.
which you don't even realize until they show you the exterior shot.
It's a beautiful
Is
house.
it's a beautiful house,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like 7 stories up in the air.
I know.
And fortunately,
Yeah.
old lady Karen is outside there to save
No,
her
and I
life.
love that, and that's so old. So I saw this thing on Facebook the other day where I'll let you guys sort of mention what, but hang tight. So there's this old lady, and she calls the police on the street, not via cell phone. So she calls to help.
Help, please.
But she calls to help. There's a firebox, and I remember those. Is there something that you guys remember? Because this is something that I saw on Facebook the other day.
We
where
had
it was
those all
like-
over when I was in college. We had them
Yeah.
all over.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, hang tight, because explain something from your childhoods, no context, that kids today wouldn't get. For me, for instance, video games had to be played on channel 3.
I remember that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what about you guys? Fireboxes on the street, I remember those, but
Something
something else.
that I would have to provide context or the kids wouldn't get
no,
it.
no context at all. Like, kids won't get it.
Well,
So-
the assassin takes the phone off the hook.
Yeah, good
And the
one.
woman runs upstairs,
one.
and you can hear her
That's
trying
true.
to call.
Taking a phone
That's a
off
good
the hook.
one.
She didn't pull out her cell phone and call the police.
Taking the phone off the hook. Okay, so that's a thing. Good job.
Getting stoned in an airplane bathroom.
While playing saxophone.
While playing
and being African American.
Life used
So
to
typical.
be. I want to go back in time.
How topical.
I want to hang out with JJ Walker. I mean, how cool would that be?
Is that Rob Lowe?
It looks like it.
I know
It's
not.
French Rob Lowe. It's Le Rob Lowe.
Well, a classic line that they used to use in the horror films back then. It's like, we've traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. Get out. And,
Yeah.
that can happen anytime with a cell phone.
Is it just me or does Robert Wagner always look menacing?
Yeah, he
Like
does.
always. Like you would never trust Robert Wagner.
He looks
Because
like
he killed a
wife.
woman.
He killed
Yeah.
his wife.
He did kill
right?
his wife. Yeah.
Natalie
Natalie
Wood.
Wood?
Yeah.
Natalie Wood. Yeah, Natalie Wood.
Natalie,
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful women ever to walk the earth. Her and her sister, Lana Wood, two of the most beautiful human beings ever. He and Christopher Walken. Walken was there. I'm not going to implicate Walken. I'm just going to say Walken was there.
I'm saying right now that your implication it's all wrong.
That's good.
It's
That's
all
very
wrong.
good. That's good. It's hard to do a Walken impression.
I'm great at impressions, despite what our trolls think. So go ahead.
Washington D.C.
They're at
used,
the Lincoln
used to be such a
Memorial.
nice town.
The Lincoln Memorial. What?
You got her.
It is
you
the
got her.
70s.
That's
he didn't
it.
get
You
me.
got her.
I'm cool. I'm cool. I recovered really quickly. I'm wearing his hat. I'm very professional. Anyway, go, Jason, about the Lincoln Memorial.
It's very nice. Back to you, Jade.
We're in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and
Can I just say this is the first time I've ever been on television? You're supposed to say, no, we don't have time. It's a Monty Python.
I
Yeah,
messed that
yeah,
up.
It's a Monty
You're
Python
right.
bit,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, I'm afraid we don't have time.
No, I should have picked up on that. You're right. So anyway,
Blow your nose. One of my favorite lines
well,
in
tell
any
them what's
movie ever.
happening. Tell them what's happening. If you're
Well,
gonna
they
say
They can see Robert Wagner is thinking about killing his wife.
No,
That's what's happening.
he's preparing for what's ultimately going to happen years later.
Yeah.
My God.
Except he didn't need a drone. He just pushed her overboard.
He comes up with the most elaborate, asinine ways of trying to kill it. Like, you've got all this money. You can hire a fighter pilot with a Phantom. Maybe hire a dude and just like follow her and shoot
Meanwhile,
her.
he's putting
I know.
her
You know?
into an Uber car. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is way before Uber was a thing. There was a sticker on the
That's true. It's a lift, I think.
Oh, yeah, because it's that old.
I love this.
Oh,
scene.
there's Al Pacino in the front of the car.
I'm driving. Hooah!
Say hello to my little limo. But anyway.
Morning, KH. I want to be so
So-
rich people refer to me by my initials.
Okay, so should I even look up the synopsis of this movie?
Okay, I can tell you the entire synopsis.
Please do. Do your own.
An airline receives delivery of a brand new Concorde. The plane is going to fly first to France and then to Russia, to Moscow, to deliver a bunch of athletes for the Olympics. But on board the plane is the wife of a really sort of Elon Musk but evil guy who found out that he has been selling arms to bad guys, including the North Vietnamese during the fucking Vietnam War.
Right.
And she's got, what do we always get in the 70s? The documents.
Evidence.
Pieces, literally.
The heroin.
Paper.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's a Mel
Yeah,
Gibson
it's either that,
movie,
yeah,
sorry.
one or the other.
this is-
Yeah.
This is before she could pull out her cell phone, take photos of it, and text it to the newspaper. She had to actually hang on to that.
Well,
stuff.
no, it's even worse than that.
God.
She never just picks up the phone and tells them, by the way, if anything happens to me, here's what went on.
Well,
you know?
well, you don't want to sell him out until you get the full story.
Right.
Right? Or lynch him. Is that
Yes,
what they say?
exactly, yeah.
Don't lynch me before
And
you have
Robert Wagner, innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
Yikes.
You better
Anyway.
count. You better count on that one.
I'm not mentioning anything about this.
So this woman has these critical documents which implicate Robert Wagner in these heinous crimes, unpatriotic crimes. She's on the Concorde, and he does everything. He spends millions and millions and millions of dollars to try to shoot down the Concorde to take her out.
Yes.
Like you said, you got the drone, you got the F4. They sabotage the bottom hatch, and after all this happens, there's multiple legs. The people still stay on the plane.
They're fine.
It's
and they
amazing.
stay on the plane.
You know what?
Yeah.
Must have been a fluke.
Yeah.
Then it was another fluke, and then finally, well, yeah.
Well, George Kennedy's flying. We'll be okay.
I clearly enjoyed
Yeah.
this movie thoroughly.
I'm
Outsiders.
going to tell you straight up. I friggin' love this movie, and
No, I'm glad-
I'm gonna preview on the Alf to Seinfeld thing because I saw the other 3 airport movies a few times growing up and a few times fairly recently. This one though, I didn't see this one very much.
Considering it was the 4th in a series.
Well, this was a bomb. It was a
Imagine.
huge failure. They actually, when they marketed this movie, and this baffles me, they when they showed it to executives in Hollywood, they literally laughed and they said it's totally ridiculous. They marketed this movie as a comedy. And the tagline was like, "The danger is sky high and so are the laughs." They literally marketed it as a comedy.
Okay, and I don't want you to get mad now that you actually know who the hell John Mulaney is, because you've been mixing him up with Anthony Jeselnik for so long, inexplicably.
I shouldn't even know who he is.
But no, seriously. So John Mulaney has a fantastic joke, which Mr. Brown knows about, where it's like, what must the pitch have been for Back to the Future, where he goes and I've got this kid, right? He's in high school. He goes back into the past and he tries to fuck his mom.
That's not what he did. That is so not what he did.
I'm telling you what John Mulaney's joke is. I need you to calm
It's a
down.
comic bit.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. And it's like, we'll call it Back to the Future. Why not Back to the Past? No. It's Back to the Past or Back to the Future.
Well, because they're trying to get Back to the Future.
I know, but it's a whole bit. See,
Yes.
you still haven't watched it.
But this is, you ever hear of Burns and Schreiber Comedy Hour?
Yeah.
I'll be quiet
there's
now.
the comedian. He's
I know.
playing a Russian.
I love this character,
Yeah.
and I love him with his little daughter.
Yeah.
And the way they're doing the signing, it's so sweet, you know. And this was at that wonderful period, you know, sort of the, hey, let's all, maybe we can all be friends, the Russians and the Americans, you know, like, hey, and they would put characters like this in there, and it was always a very sweet, kind of heartfelt thing.
Yeah.
And it, you know,
And look at the cameras that they're filming them with.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
high tech.
Well, because I know we don't speak sign language on this show exactly, but
Do you? What does this mean? Screw you?
it's,
Because I noticed you
oh,
said it's
I
adjacent.
actually learned
No.
some signs this weekend.
my niece speaks sign language. They teach that, and so I'm trying to learn it, like please and thank you and
Yeah.
do you speak and whatever. But
What is this? You know,
No.
Shark.
shark.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you learn that?
what
Because
is
you're
this?
scubaing?
Yeah. What is
Tell
this?
people
Seal.
scuba?
No.
Turtle.
Seal?
Turtle.
Turtle. What?
Oh no, that's been a thing since high school.
Yeah.
Like awkward turtle is just the one little leg.
You know what-
No,
you
and
know what
that's
this
not
means?
even a sign thing.
Do
I wanna know what that
shagging? yeah.
We shagged.
I know what this means.
We did not.
That means bullshit.
Anyway,
well,
And
love
actually, what
that.
is this one? This is an actual scuba sign. Okay, this. What is this? What is it?
I don't know.
What
honey.
am I writing?
You're riding a
The wave?
dolphin?
No, in the sign. What am I writing?
I don't know.
Come on.
honey.
A horse. You're riding a horse.
Okay,
Slap the
Why?
horse.
But
Spank the horse.
so a horse. What would
Horse's
be the
ass.
scuba sign with a horse?
Seahorse.
Bingo.
See? Look at that. It only takes me 4
Yes.
times.
Yes.
I get it.
anyway,
It's a serious sport.
I was about to go in a serious direction and talk about what languages we do speak.
Ooh,
but you
Dulles.
know what?
You know, Dulles.
F it.
And you know what I love in Dulles is those trucks that you get into.
Yeah.
When you go to different terminals.
The moon buggies.
The moon buggies.
Yeah.
It's like.
Do they still have those?
Oh yes.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. I was just on one probably about 3 years ago.
Oh, that's no, really, no. There, when you
Oh, I'm making faces at the hindsighters.
No, I
I'm
know,
just
I know.
talking
But you know,
to
like
them.
when at the Atlanta airport, you go on the plane train. Mm-hmm. At Dulles, they had these huge vehicles that were like tall enough, and they would park next to the ticketing area, and then you would board them, and they would take you to the various terminals, and they looked like huge moon buggies.
Did you ever see the movie Damnation Alley?
No.
Oh, that might be a good one.
Ooh.
But the vehicles I think are almost based on that. But it works really well because Robert Wagner can walk as the moon buggy's pulling out. He can watch her look at the document. She's opening the document. He's like, "Oh, I've got to kill her now."
Oh god.
I was actually. It's weird seeing Dulles because I love flying. I actually enjoy being at the airport. Not with my family, but being by myself.
Right.
Sorry, Elaine and David.
No, it's miserable then. But if I'm just there by myself, I love it. I go to the Sky Club, I have a few drinks, you know, I take my time.
You get a little
Yeah,
hammered.
you know, it's very
yeah.
relaxing. Dulles Airport, though, is the only airport that I absolutely
He looks like he's trying to kill her.
pathologically hate. I hate that airport because I was actually at Dulles Airport and saw a terrorist dry run.
Oh yay! See, there it is.
Yeah.
Check it out. There's the big moon buggies.
It's so cool.
They are pretty
See,
cool.
I don't travel
Yeah.
that much. Like, I'm never at the airport this often. But
I was on one of those with terrorists,
Oh.
with actual, honest to God, fucking terrorists. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it was a dry run, weren't they? Fake terrorists?
No. It was it's a whole story I won't get into, but like we had like airport security was involved, and with like the FBI got involved, people with security clearances got involved, and at the end of the day, they let them get on the plane, and they just said to us, "Well, we'll put you guys on a different flight." And I said, "But what about the people? What about the other people on the plane?" They let them fly.
My brain hurts right now.
That's a true story.
Just let Josh on next time you travel, because
Yeah.
he'll handle it.
Yeah.
But no
Well, the other
worries.
cool thing about Dulles is the beginning of the Hunt for Red October. every time I'm at Dulles now, and I'm in the baggage claim area, because the first scene in the Hunt for Red October, when he gets to the U.S., it's got the whole thing where he's like met by the people in Dulles. So it's sort of like LAX is with Die Hard.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same thing.
You
Now,
don't like to fly, do you? Or
also-
you don't like flying, do you?
Also, if you flew before 9/11, you could kind of walk right into the
Oh, yeah.
cockpit, hang out with the pilots,
totally.
sit on
You
their lap.
Yeah.
Oh no! Apparently, even
As a
just,
kid, I remember going to the cockpit.
Absolutely.
apparently, yeah, because that was the thing. Your dad could take you up there and pretend to fly the plane or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a new project coming
Cicely
out
Tyson.
where they're terrorists taking
The
over
great
his plane.
Cicely Tyson.
Anyway,
Sorry, no, carry on. No, something
No,
about
that was it. That was it.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to do something on film.
no,
Next.
it's already. I love Joseph Gordon.
Who doesn't?
He's a great guy. I love Joseph Gordon.
I know he's great.
He was
So
Robin.
He's got a new. Shut up.
Wasn't
Anyway,
he?
He was what?
He was Robin
I thought he was going to be Batman.
in the third Dark Knight movie. Wasn't that
Yes,
was
he was
Okay,
Robin.
yeah, don't
You're
tell me
right.
I'm wrong about
No,
that.
no,
Yeah,
I was thinking animated for some reason, but yes, he's the Robin in the Christopher
Yeah,
Nolan version.
right,
Yes,
yeah,
you're correct.
yeah.
Anyway, so what's happening in the movie, fellas?
They're about
'Cause,
to take off.
they're about to take off, and we're what, an hour in at this point?
And the movie
Jesus.
is almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's a really long freaking
Yeah.
movie. I will be honest, because I couldn't figure out where to stream it. Adam had to tell me, and by the time he did, I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to be able to watch all of this before I get on film. So, yeah.
Hey,
so
wait
what's happening?
till you see Towering Inferno.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're not.
I do believe Robert
Disaster.
Wagner's
Is
in
that
that
your,
too.
Is Robert Wagner in that?
is that your pick
Of
for
course.
Disaster Month?
No, I think that was the first one you suggested.
I wanted to, but it's unavailable.
Yeah. Oh, is
my.
it?
It's not available. Well, I think you have to purchase it for like 25 or 30 bucks or something.
Oh, I had to buy this.
Yeah, I had to buy this. It was
Mr. Brown,
$4,
Mr.
so-
Brown, would you please tell us about why George Kennedy is laughing right
Yes,
now?
please.
Oh, and I missed it, but were they
I can go
talking
back.
about-
I can go back.
Go
Damn
back.
it. We've never rewound. This is historical on Hindsight is Horrifying because
Oh,
we've never
right.
rewound.
Yes. This is when the owner of the airline was in the cockpit hanging out with his fourth wife, who was quite young and beautiful. And he was always a horny bastard, as he says. There's a story
That's the
from
line.
back in the
That's the line.
20s, you know, he wanted to put it to a wing walker, and he boffed her on the wing 1,000 feet above El Paso. Boffed her.
And his ass got so.
His ass got
Scooting over here.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? His ass got so sunburned he couldn't sit down for a week.
Wow.
But it did make me reflect. When was that? You said you used boffed last Easter. When you were getting when you're romantic with your wife.
Yes.
I have not used it forever.
I
Oh, we're sorry.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
Let's
And
just
that's
pause.
the way the news goes.
Let's pause for a moment so that
Brass
these people
tastes
can
bad.
get it out of your system.
Actually,
Get it out of your
we
system.
we do need to pause. We do need to take a
We
quick
need to
break.
take a break so
If-
that
if-
Jason can edit and not lose his mind.
If you're watching it live, you're going to see a break. If you're watching this pre-recorded, we'll see you again in about 1 second. We're back.
All right.
We're back, everybody.
We're back with Jimmy J.
And we are in the midst of a fierce debate because no other than the legendary Jimmy J.J. Walker is now on screen.
Hell yes.
Dynamite!
Dynamite.
Do you know Jimmy J.J. Walker was actually, that's his stage name, named after a former mayor of the city of New York. In the 1920s, the mayor of New York was Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
We can play that game. So, do you
Bring
guys?
it.
No. Seriously. My stage name, Darth Jader. We've got that, and not that anybody hasn't discovered my real freaking name. No. But seriously, a lot of celebrities that you wouldn't even expect have stage names. For instance, Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom Maypother. By the way, I drank with Tom Maypother when he was still Tom Maypother.
I've never.
No
heard it
shit.
I've
Yeah.
never heard it pronounced that way, but it's actually the fourth.
Oh,
Ew.
Tom Maypother or Map. I thought it was Mapother, but apparently it's Maypother.
Well, I think in the
Maypother.
Church of Spaceship and Beep Boop, they delete the fourth part.
Okay.
We are
fair
all
enough.
about spaceship and beep boop.
Fair enough. But who else? Come on. Anybody have any stage name? Well, you have a story clearly because you drank with
Well,
Tom Maypother.
Yeah, it was my cousin Scott. Scotzo. Hey, shout out to Scotzo. They went to high school together, and I went to visit him one time, and he said,
Gotta
"Hey,
stop dating yourself,
we
dude.
just no, I was 5 years old. You know, my cousin Scott.
Once
was like
again, you gotta
15.
stop dating yourself. Jason's been trying to figure this out for ages.
I date myself regularly and have since I was a teenager. So,
yeah, but
you know.
I mean,
So there
you're
was nothing
desperate.
special about Tom Maypother when I met him. He was just an average dude, you know, until
No, he
until-
wasn't an average dude because
He was below average. Dude. He was a little guy.
Yeah.
He's shorter than Darth, and Darth is 5'8".
Yes, he's a
I,
tiny
I'll be
guy.
honest. I can't wait to see, and I'm
No,
genuine.
that's the thing we
okay.
have to do. We're going together. All three of us are going to see the next Top Gun movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, count
Done.
me in.
And we're coming immediately back here to film
Yes.
the episode to talk
Yes,
about that
we will.
freaking
We will.
movie.
We
'cause
will
it's gonna
have
be awesome.
our immediate reaction.
yes,
Ooh.
Of course,
fresh reaction.
you know, typically after I see a movie with Jennifer Connelly in it, there's about a 1 hour cool off.
Okay, so you and I need to get back to the studio while Jason has his private.
He'll take
time.
a shower.
I
cool-
eh,
30-minute
five
shower.
minutes. 5 minutes.
Oh, is that all
my
you
God.
need?
That's all I need.
Oh,
Okay.
is that what happens when you get old?
Yes, that's what happens when you get old.
God.
Yes, that is the reason.
Yes. You save a lot
I
of time.
regret asking. Asking. Speaking of which, is Danger paying attention? Because we are live, so
Oh,
No, we lost. We lost Danger. He's got better stuff to do.
anyway, so yeah.
Watch
we're
Dad on TV. Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so we're definitely going to see the next Top Gun movie live, listeners, hindsighters, everybody who pays attention to us, whatever. We're going to see it, and we'll be back in the studio to have our live episode about Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious because in the first Top Gun, Kelly McGillis, and it's very obvious when you watch the movie, Kelly McGillis, anytime she's near Tom Cruise, she's sort of bent
Tilting or
over
doing
like
something
this.
to make herself
To look
shorter
short.
than she is.
I'm
yes.
wondering if in the 21st century with Jennifer Connelly, will they like digitally enlarge Tom Cruise or digitally shrink?
Well, they may go
like
Robert
they
Downey Jr. with it because he
Yeah.
wore Spice Girls kind of heels in
But Tom
Marvel.
Cruise has a thing about that. He doesn't do lifts.
I know he
Yeah,
doesn't.
he
but
no, he won't
they
do that.
still bill him like at 5'11". And I'm like,
No, not even close.
and I'm like, bro, come on. I'm not even that tall.
Come on, man.
I'm taller than you.
Tom,
we love you.
we love you.
We love you.
Like seriously, the
we know
last
you're
movie
effing
star.
crazy, but we still love you.
Yeah.
That being said,
The last movie star. I mean, there's
kind of, yeah, we talked about that on
Yeah,
the
we
show
did, we
before.
did, yeah.
So
Brad Pitt and Tom
who are the
Cruise.
movie stars that are left that you can even think of? Morgan Freeman.
Morgan's kind of retired though.
Yeah.
He's
No,
not.
he's not. He's God.
But he's not really. I think Morgan Freeman's kind of backed away from. Like he's done his thing. He's got
Bruce
his
Willis.
money.
He's aging out too. He really is. I mean, Tom doesn't seem to age at all.
No, he doesn't.
No,
Really?
he
No,
really
looks
doesn't.
great.
Tom is
For his
in,
age.
I want to say mid-50s, and he's still killing it. Like
Look, whatever.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock is a movie star.
He's getting close, I would say. People
No,
will go see
he's
him.
not. Are you
People will
kidding?
see him.
He takes his own gym with him wherever he goes.
That.
Is that his male lover? What do you mean? Jim, come on.
Yeah.
My
You're a
wife.
hot mess.
I like The Rock. I really do.
But
But
he's
I
not
don't.
an actor.
I don't
in my
know.
head.
I don't
Yeah,
know
same.
if because a movie star is like with Tom Cruise. It was, hey, there's a new Tom Cruise movie, and people go, cool, let's go see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like
You know,
our
Brad
whole, no, not Brad Pitt. Kevin Costner. How and Burt Reynolds. How it's a Burt Reynolds movie.
Yeah.
I don't care what the hell it's about. Let's go and see it. Yeah. Same with Kevin Costner. Yeah. Brad Pitt was kind of the same. But I think Brad Pitt was where there was a turning point where the dads, like my dad was like, oh, Janet my mom, she just wants to see it because he's handsome. Like, no, I'm not going to see that.
Yeah, I mean,
so it just.
Brad Pitt is actually a good actor.
Oh, he's a
and
fantastic
I'll give him
actor.
that. I mean, like,
Yeah, with enough soap, one could blow up just about anything.
yeah, but
We're doing that.
yeah.
And Angel, if you're paying attention, we are going to do Taken for you. So get pumped. We're not doing it this month because we're doing disaster month. But
I realize very soon, I need to add this to my list. We need to do what I think was Christian Kevin Baconson's first ever movie. Christian Slater's first movie. Do you know what it was? Sean Connery was in it.
Mm-hmm.
With the Rose, War of the Roses?
In the name of the Rose.
I was going to let one of y'all name it because I know what it is.
I was thinking about. I saw an article on that the other day, and it was actually about the author, the guy who wrote the book.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I got to watch that movie again because I saw it years ago and I really liked it. I think that would be something we should think about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something you can consider. But so as far as movie stars, great, all that. So where are we in this movie that Adam picked for today?
This is an important part. This is
and what's happening?
This is where they're testing out the drone again on a all orange or red F4.
Why is it orange?
Because it is unmanned.
Yes, it has a Q in front of it.
It has a monkey in it.
It is a QF4.
At a QF4.
Yeah.
Un mono.
So they're going to launch the drone at that, but then they want to
with A-Team style
yes.
electronics inside.
Seriously.
Well, and here's the thing about the drone. This is getting a little inside baseball, but they fire the drone, and the whole thing is like the drone can fly out and detect the plane and then hit it, sort of like every other missile in the world.
Right.
That's kind of how those work. So what's the big fucking deal about this thing, you know?
Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah. By the way, I love...
Didn't you ever see the movie 1942?
Oh, it's a great movie.
Hollywood!
With John Belushi?
No, never seen that one.
It's a good movie.
I'm really getting high-roaded
it's a
in the old
Spielberg
man
movie.
version today, guys.
That is one of Spielberg's first movies.
I believe you. It's just that I
love how he leans over. He's got the monochromatic computer, which we haven't seen in
with the scan
decades.
lines.
Yes. And working in DOS, clearly. Clearing out some of the code so that the drone doesn't go after the unmanned F4, it goes after the Concorde. Flight of the Concorde.
Which, for all of the people who are proper aviation geeks, I recognize the fact, technically you're not supposed to say the Concorde.
Yeah.
It's just Concorde.
Really? Okay.
But everybody says the Concorde, so,
Especially,
go stuff it.
Yeah, especially fans of Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, totally.
Which we are. Big
Or
time.
the superior movie to this, Death Flight SST, which is the low budget version of this movie.
Yeah.
set primarily in New Orleans.
I wasn't
Yeah.
where Jason's not from New Orleans proper, but he is from Louisiana. So that's another thing we should do. Shout out to an old restaurant where I used to bartend, Henry's Louisiana Grill. Which is now open, and I'm taking both of y'all to that restaurant. It's going to be awesome. Get excited. So what's happening right now, gentlemen? There's this Blanche type character.
Well, she is a retiring. She is going to perform her last performance
In Moscow.
in Moscow.
Like you
singer.
It
do.
was a common thing back then.
Like you do.
With J.J. Walker.
And J.J. Walker plays the alto saxophone.
The saxophone.
And also gets stoned in the bathroom.
Totally.
Which
So awesome.
Which is okay back
So
then.
awesome.
He likes to fly when he flies.
Yep.
One thing I liked about this was the fact that when they're on the Concorde and the Concorde goes above the speed of sound, they never make it like a thing. Like it's not.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you were on the
Sonic
Concorde,
boom.
people always were very surprised by the fact that you had that little dial, which they show. It showed your speed and Mach number, and all of a sudden it would go to Mach 1. And if that wasn't there, you would not know that you had crossed the sound barrier because there's absolutely nothing on the plane. You don't feel anything.
Right.
Okay.
And how absolutely cool would it have been to fly on this thing?
I don't know, listeners. So
It would be very
you
cool.
just got a lesson. There
Yeah.
you go. I
So
didn't
there's
know
no
that.
other commercial planes.
No. There's a new one. There's NASA and Boeing are working on the future SST, which the whole thing is like it's designed to do the sonic booms, but it sends it all straight up so that
If I use the term the Spindrift, would that mean anything to you?
yes. Yes.
Just want to make sure.
They're
see
nerding
how
out
geeky
so
you
hard
are.
right now.
Well, do you remember how big of a deal it was? Like in the beginning of the movie, they had those balloons like the stop. That was actually a real. My wife is from Virginia, and she lived like 45 minutes from Dulles, and she remembers the protests.
Oh, absolutely.
With all the people saying like, no, Concorde. And the first time it flew over, she went outside as a little girl and she was expecting this like earth shattering thing. And it's like, boom, boom.
Yeah, nothing.
She goes, that's it?
doesn't
This
feel
is
the
what
same.
everybody's bitching about?
No, it's so funny. I've asked my parents about different historical points in their lives as well. And one of the things my dad remembers was like the flash drills. So very different from the boom boom. But
It is. They just went to
Mach 1.
Mach 1.
Mach 1, yeah. So very different. But Daddy in particular remembers the flash drills from the 50s when he was a little boy. And my mom was like, what? I said, Mother,
How does she not remember that?
I don't know. It's funny how people remember different things.
That's weird that she doesn't. Did it like scare her and like she blocked it out?
I don't even know, because it was a college thing that I had to ask my parents what were historical moments that they particularly remembered in their minds. And, you know, for me, I was too young to remember the Berlin Wall falling and all that other stuff. But, like, I remember 9/11 in particular. That was awful.
That was probably for you, I would imagine, Princess Diana. If I had to guess.
I do remember Princess Diana. I remember OJ. I remember
OJ?
President Clinton. And
How about JFK Jr.?
I remember that.
remember it.
That would have been a little early, I think,
it was
for you.
I vaguely remember it, like
okay.
hearing about it in school. So, but there was that. But my parents, I asked them, and they both had very different answers. When I asked them, you know, hey, Mom and Dad, what was historically significant for you? And my dad was like, oh, okay. So I remember when JFK got shot. And I'll tell you why. Because I was a young boy growing up in a rural area. And not only was he a young president, that was a big deal. But secondly, he told us that we could fly from one city to another state. And that in a few hours. And oh my God. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then he got shot, and it was like something stopped in the country when he got shot.
Real quick, this is back when F-15s were still new.
Yeah,
1979, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, yeah, it is interesting you say that because the moments you remember from when you were a kid, you know, the big historical moments, Berlin Wall for me. Challenger's probably the
Challenger was
biggest
rough.
one.
I was a little too young for Challenger.
I was 7 when Challenger was lost, and
makes
I
sense,
remember that. I remember being in school in first grade, kindergarten, when that happened. But like I asked because I had to do the same thing when I was in school.
Yeah,
You know, you ask your parents. You ask your parents, and it was interesting because I asked my dad, and he gives me the standard, you know, Kennedy, Martin Luther King, this, that. I asked my mom, and it was funny because she said, well, Dad's already said Kennedy and all that. I know one that no one else in your class is going to remember. I said, okay.
What did you say, Mom?
And she said, I remember the day that Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz announced they were getting divorced.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a huge deal.
Because her mom, my grandmother, cried her eyes out when that happened.
I judged my mom at the time, and I shouldn't have, because our mothers were raised differently. My mother looked at me and said, oh my God, I remember when Elvis died.
Yeah.
And it devastated her.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, compared to what my dad said, I was like, Mother, a president was shot and Elvis died on the toilet?
No,
What?
but that was the
that
king.
That was the news.
He was the king.
Yes, even my dad loved Elvis. He
Oh, yeah,
loved his
everybody
movies.
loved
Like
Elvis.
everybody loved Elvis. It was crazy.
Elvis Presley, one of his first ever concerts, was in my hometown, Alexandria, Louisiana.
Whoa.
It was before he.
Somebody's gonna get laid in
No.
college.
It was before he hooked up with the Colonel.
See, you get our jokes
Yeah,
now.
you do,
You
yes.
get our jokes now.
I'm getting them.
One of his first concerts and one of his last concerts were in my hometown. When he played his first concert, my dad was there. When he played his last concert, my dad was there. And he said when he played the first time, and it was before he met Colonel Parker,
Yeah.
he was so bad, we booed him off the stage.
Oh my God. What's funny, like, it's so hilarious to me, like, what our parents got to see, because my parents saw Michael Jackson in concert.
Yeah, no
that
shit.
That kills me.
Yeah.
Because I loved him growing up. I mean, you didn't know any of the stuff about
you didn't
him.
care. Even if you
doesn't
did know,
matter.
you wouldn't have cared.
He's the king of pop.
Yeah.
Like, Elvis was the king, but Michael was the king of pop. And my cousin Justin and I grew up, like, pretending to shoot little music videos in our houses and just dancing along to his songs and stuff. And just, oh my God, I love Michael Jackson. I love his music. He's
original
amazing.
Michael Jackson was one of my favorite
Free
things.
Willy,
Yeah.
like that's what I grew up on. Tillicum the Whale. Oh my God.
On Robot Chicken. On one of my favorite things they ever did was they had a skit when Michael Jackson, latter day, Michael Jackson was doing a show, and then a spaceship lands. In early 1980s, Michael Jackson gets out.
Yes.
And it's so
It's so
awesome because
hardcore.
it's like
Yes.
he just throws down to later Michael Jackson, and he's so much better.
Yeah.
And
people became celebrities because even Beyonce Knowles, I had the privilege of seeing her live in concert many years ago, and she actually took a moment to thank everybody for showing up to her show, and y'all are the reason why I'm famous, all this. Like, I appreciate the fans. And she goes, I remember looking at Michael Jackson in one of his videos and saying, God, please give me the ability to do what he does one day.
Well,
like it's amazing.
yeah, that was the thing that with actors, with performers, there was always much.
inspire you.
Yeah, and there was much more of a reach down to normal America.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a small thing, but I remember as a kid, I grew up in a very small town.
No.
Where
Where
it
did
was
you grow up? Like somewhere in Louisiana?
central, right in the middle of Louisiana.
No, we know.
Yeah, but we had a venue, we had a coliseum, and it was a.
Isn't that where Bojack's friend died?
Yeah, yeah. My grandfather actually was the foreman on the project to
so
build
terrible.
the thing. But I remember as a kid, New Kids on the Block, when they were kings
They
of the
had a
world,
bunch of hits.
they came
Chinese
to
food made
our
me sick.
little town. Boys to Men,
Yes.
they came and played in our town. There is no one who is a quote unquote big star today
No.
who is going to come to our town.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
Alpharetta even has a great venue for that.
We do, yeah.
We've got a great, what's the word?
The amphitheater.
The amphitheater. Yeah. I can't remember. They renamed it. But
It's not Verizon anymore?
No. Anyway, Cece, who's been on the show. Hi, Cece. Love you. But we went to go see
With her
Backstreet
very
Boys
curly
together.
hair.
What?
Her curly hair. That's her thing on Instagram. Isn't
No,
that
that's
Cece?
Allie, honey. That's Allie. That's not Cece. Anyway, quiet you.
I'm hanging on.
Wait, who is
hanging on
Allie?
to this
Was she on the
story.
show?
We're digressing.
Cece and Allie have both been on the show, yes.
What
but
episode did Allie do?
Allie did The Grinch. Cece did Home Alone. You had to leave early for that. We're going to edit all of this out because it's so damn boring. Anyway, so Cece and I went to go see Backstreet Boys with Allie. Allie was there, but yeah. So thanks for ruining that story. So guys, there's this movie that we're watching,
And I love
there's
this
so
'cause-
much to talk about. Apparently,
The drone is now after
That needle-nosed
Concorde,
bastard.
the ST model rocket.
Yes.
This
I know.
is-
I love when
okay.
it launches and it's
Yeah.
got the tiny little thing of flame.
I'll be honest. This is past when I was even able to watch the movie. So what's happening?
So yeah, they're going. I think did they evade the ST model rocket yet?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they've evaded that. Now they're gonna send up the Phantom that they just hired from
Right.
some dude who's
Yeah,
got a Phantom.
some
That
Libyan.
guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Libyan
Yeah.
terrorists.
The same Libyan who tried to kill Doc Brown.
That's right. That's where I
I'm
was
putting
going
us
with
on a
that.
scrambler. Beeping.
Now is Robert Wagner wearing a bracelet or is that like? Is it attached to his shirt? Like, is it?
Those
what is
those
that?
look like it's like a cufflink sort of a situation, but it's
Is
a
it?
chain.
Very stylish. In
It's
79.
cool.
Was
Yeah.
that a thing?
I'm saying it
I wasn't
is.
alive
I
in
have no
'79.
idea.
I wouldn't know. Stop giving them hints.
But what I
I've told
love
you.
is when they do the barrel roll and they show the people hanging upside down.
barrel
in the
roll
plane
in a plane.
Yeah,
in a
and
tiny
in a
little
plane.
convoy. And then the pilot comes out and he just says, "Oh, Thankfully, no one's injured. We get the doctor here, and then it just goes back, and they keep flying.
I actually like that scene where George Kennedy comes out and he explains it to them, like, look, if you feel lightheaded or if you feel like it's like a real. They kind of tried to make it realistic after they had done the barrel roll in the Concorde.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
But
know?
they do the barrel roll multiple times. These poor people are hung
Yeah.
upside down. And they really do turn them upside down because you can tell the suitcases and everything
Oh, yeah.
are falling up. And I wonder if the actors had to sign some kind of waiver. See, now they hired this other F4. Clearly they had a lot of F4 models for this.
Yeah.
And-
Hey, that was what you did. You know, you had sort of a process
Like you
shot
did.
with a model, and you know, it doesn't work.
So anyway,
You're a modeler.
It doesn't work.
You're overly critical.
Mr. Brown showed up in costume, like as he's wont to do these days.
Yes.
He's showing us up, Jason, pretty much. Oh wait, I stole his hat.
Well, I'm in costume as one of the PAs who worked on the set.
PA.
There's a guy named Gary who got coffee for people. He wore a shirt like
PA.
this. Yeah.
Anyway.
Do.
No, I thought of you the other day because, like I said, Donald Faison and Zach Braff started their own podcast, and they were talking about Mr. T, and they were like, "I'm not getting on no plane." Yet he always got on the plane.
Well, 'cause-
it was a thing. That's why I normally with me and my dad, we start in the middle of a conversation because we have pretty similar brainwaves. But I called him when we did our A-Team episode,
yeah.
and I was like, "So, Daddy, was it just a thing that they had to break so and so out of the mental hospital every episode?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Honey, I don't know what we're talking
Yeah.
about."
They did.
It was.
I didn't know that because I've never watched the show. And he goes, "I didn't like that show.
You know,
it wasn't that great."
I found it.
No, Jason, you're an aficionado of planes. What did they scramble after this F4? Those Mirages?
Mirages.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
And it was actually, you know, it's interesting because the Concorde, the service ceiling on a Concorde officially was 60,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And an F4 officially is 60,000 feet, which I thought was kind of interesting. They actually picked an airplane that it was, you know, it was kind of close. Like, because, you know, what I'm thinking is, well, the Concorde could just, you know, outclimb it. But apparently it couldn't go above 60,000. I bet it could. I bet Concorde could probably hit flight level 70.
Probably.
I bet. But I bet an F4 probably could too. So, you know.
So they evaded.
I'm not putting your camera on. your camera's not on.
I hate you so much.
You can keep doing it.
Oh my God. It just.
So they're evading Sidewinder missiles.
He shoots a flare out
Yeah.
the window.
He is. But then the flare gun goes off
I know,
in the plane, in the
why.
cockpit.
Well, that is why FAA
What's the line? Say the
FAA
line.
regulations very clearly state on any flight where you're carrying passengers across the Atlantic,
Yes.
you must have a David Warner.
Yes. Because they are real
They're
men.
super useful.
Pilots are such real men. That's why they call it the cockpit. That's an actual line
That's
from Aaron. You
lines.
gotta watch it
That's
to
in
see
the movie.
that line. It's a wonderful
Look at
line.
it. Look at this high energy rollover, you know?
JJ's like, oh, I shouldn't have smoked
Dynamite!
that second joint.
No, he needs to smoke some more.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah. So he sticks his arm out the window with a flare gun, doing probably,
Like
what,
you did.
500, 600, 800 miles per hour.
The last time that they showed it, they were at Mach 1.5.
Yeah.
And you really don't stick your arm out the window at Mach 1.5.
I've stuck my arm out the window doing 60 miles per hour, and it's
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
what happens.
But
Well-
he did it in a submarine. So
Yeah. Well, I know, like, what is it in a car? They say if you stick your hand out the window at 100 miles an hour, it's like putting your hand in wet concrete.
well, jumping
Yeah.
off a building, apparently, whatever story it is times it by 10. So if you jump out the 4th story, that's 40 miles an hour on impact that you hit the ground. So
There we go. There goes the flare.
I know it's different if you're in water or if you're in the air, but
Well, you see, water is a fluid, and so is air. You see, that's why it's very interesting. Oh
my God!
Okay, sorry.
they're nerding out. So they've turned against me, hindsighters. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry.
I seriously, though, watching this, I was just so certain David Warner was going to die.
Oh, I know.
I just, and he
God he
didn't.
made it.
But I was like, David Warner's going to go back, and that's when the cargo door is going to open, and David Warner is going to get shot into space. I just knew it, and they didn't kill him, and I'm very happy about that.
Like you do.
Like, I remember a made-for-TV movie where Shatner got sucked out at the end. I don't remember when that was, but it was awesome. You just see him kind of...
They used to make
I'm going to look that up now.
They used to make the best. Remember? Do you remember the movie V?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Way before your time. I'm assuming.
Everything that's
Everything's
happening right
before
now
her
is
time.
so before.
Have you ever heard of V?
No.
Oh,
No, it was a terror at 60,000 feet.
I
think
adore
I think that was
both.
it. Yeah.
Terror
Yeah.
at 30,000 feet.
Yeah. No, Terror at 30,000 Feet was the Twilight Zone episode that Shatner was in,
Oh, okay.
where there's something on the wing,
Yeah.
which is a great episode.
Yes, of course.
Let's watch the movie.
Yes, so they're in a crash dive right now with an F-4 Phantom after them.
And they've lost their engines.
Oh yeah, all their
Yeah,
engines
all
are out.
their engines
I'd
are out.
Forgotten about
Yeah.
that. So they're trying to fire up their engines.
Yeah.
They're literally in free fall.
Yeah.
How many lawsuits are going to be involved?
Oh
in
my
this?
Well,
God.
no, this
So
is the
many.
70s, so none.
I don't know why Eddie Albert's so happy being the owner of this company. I
This
was
is
in
the
the best
70s,
seat.
no lawsuits. So
Yes.
it's people
Well, that
didn't-
happened. There was a 747 in the
Lockerbie?
late 70s, early 80s that the cargo door,
Oh.
it was a side cargo door, and it was a design flaw where you could, if you closed it and it wasn't aligned correctly, but you forced it, it would bend the pins. And there was a flight where the cargo door, there was a decompression, the door opened up, and what happened was when the cargo bay decompressed, the deck above it just fell. It fell onto that vacuum,
Yes.
and like
Were lives lost?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Shoot.
And so they changed it. They changed it after that, you know. But I was watching this, and the thing with this that got me was when the cargo door kind of opens, wouldn't that just sort of slowly equalize the pressure? And so when the door fell,
Would no be,
really wouldn't be that big
It
of a
was the
deal.
rapid
I hate my
decompression.
life
Yeah.
right now, just so you guys know.
Physics.
You should have studied engineering like we did.
I'm
You
pretty-
liberal arts
I don't-
major.
I don't study. I'm kidding.
Yeah, come on, you were in English. Oh, the bathroom's
And
broken.
there's Martha Ray. Oh
She's
my
so
God.
good.
I just think of her. Was she at Lidsville? She was a Sid and Marty Croft.
She
I
was
know
she was in a
was.
bunch of stuff. Everyone in this movie was, and that's
everyone.
the thing.
Yeah.
Even little tiny bit parts are played by people who had done
Oh yeah.
like
Well,
hundreds of things.
You have to wonder about that because it's kind of like what was the movie we did? Sleepy Hollow. It was just
Yeah,
you and me.
yeah.
But there
With
were all
Michael
these,
Gough.
Yeah, Michael Go. You had all these big actors just playing.
Was Peter
bit
Cushing?
parts.
Peter Cushing wasn't in that. Was
No,
he?
he wasn't. You had.
It was another
Jeffrey-
Hammer person though, wasn't there?
I don't know.
I thought
You're
there
the one
was.
who loves those movies. Jeffrey from Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
Jeffrey.
the pedophile.
Yes, I wasn't going there, but yes.
yeah.
Well, you know, let's,
Not Tambor.
You
no, not
had,
Jeffrey
uh,
Tambor.
You had the new Dumbledore, Michael Gambon.
Michael Gambon.
Oh, Gambon.
He was in that Sleepy Hollow, but
Possibly, who has possibly the coolest thing anyone can ever say about themselves is Michael Gambon.
the track
Because
in,
Michael, he
yeah.
has. There's a corner on the Top Gear track named after him.
Yeah, I know. You got mad at me because I liked Richard Harris better as Dumbledore, and you were like, "Bitch, please." Does he have a part of the track
yeah.
named after
Hey,
him? No.
Richard Harris is great too.
Anyway, no, but that's why it kind of made me flash back to our Sleepy Hollow episode because there are all these big name
Ed
actors.
Begley, Ed Begley Jr.'s in here.
Well, I noticed on the IMDb,
Do tell.
Joe's wife, Joe Petroni's wife.
Uh-huh.
He mentions her several times, like she died a year ago, whatever. Uncredited as Mrs. Petroni
Really?
is Jessica Walter, and I
You're
didn't.
kidding
And
me.
No.
but I watched this whole
Aw.
movie, and I never saw. Was there a scene where
No,
they did a
know-
flashback?
You're a hot mess.
I bet you they did.
Yeah.
I bet you they shot it and cut
And
it.
then cut it. Yeah,
I
they probably
freaked out
did.
the other day
Yeah.
because I'm rewatching Just Shoot Me with David Spade.
That's a good show.
She was on it. She is.
Oh, really?
The guy who owns Jack, who owns the
Yeah. Crap. What's his name?
Jack.
No, the actor.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
He's on the Goldbergs.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But his ex-wife is Jessica Walter,
No
Maya's
shit.
mom. Yeah, Jessica Walter, and
Oh,
she
Maya.
shows up and talks to what's the Nina, the
Nina.
model lady who works there, and she's like, Nina, you haven't
Wendy
aged-"
Malick.
Yes,
Yeah, Wendy
she was
Malick.
like, you haven't aged a day. You look wonderful. Oh, that hag.
I gotta
like,
wa-
and
I gotta
from
watch
behind
that
her
now.
back. Like, I love Jessica Walter.
I
My
was
God.
when I was a younger man, I was obsessed with that show just because of Laura San Giacomo. She
is
oh
great.
my
From
Just Shoot Me.
Maya.
Maya.
yeah.
So Pretty Woman. This
Yeah.
ain't a buffet, kid.
She was in Pretty Woman.
Oh,
She was Julia
Yeah.
Roberts' hooker BFF in that movie, and she was like eating all the cherries and
Yeah.
olives
Yeah,
out of the bar.
I have seen Pretty Woman.
This ain't a buffet, kid.
I've seen it.
No, those are the two things that I know her from.
Yeah, that's about. Well, she was in.
Oh, her and her D cup. I'm sure you
she
really
had a-
hated
she-
her in the
she
90s,
had
Jason.
she had a bit part in Suicide Kings.
I never saw that one. But,
Oh, you would love it.
I'm
You
telling
would
you,
love
Just Shoot Me and Pretty Woman. Those are the things I know her from.
So the Concorde
Right,
lost
the
its
movie you
hydraulics after it shook the F4 from its tail.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing with like someone who's got to get a heart transplant, and then
Yes.
that whole thing is
I
just
didn't even watch this
It,
whole
it
movie.
is dealt with, and it's over. The
Yeah.
helicopter flies away. That
Done.
plot is over.
Done. So you're saying that she got off the plane before the second leg? Oh. But now that they stopped it with these little.
Whoa! We
What?
can't do that. We can't. We'll get canceled. You do.
We're
the,
doing Airplane
You,
next
you
week.
do the news thing. We can't do that. That's not. That's been.
Yes, that's not,
They'll
that's
think it's a
forbidden.
garage door opener.
We're
We
doing
can't do that.
Airplane next week.
All right, that's fine. Just saying.
And my best friend
Well,
died.
Do you remember the elaborate suicide
Wait,
scenes
what?
that Carol O'Connor would have and all
Oh,
of
yeah.
the family with loading the gun or tying the noose and hanging himself?
Carol O'Connor.
Oh, my
Carol
goodness.
O'Connor
That
was one of the
bitch.
best actors ever. In the Heat of the Night was just one of the best shows. Yeah. Lifting up the skirt of the night.
You guys. Just
Reach down, grab around.
You have a good father, baby.
I miss my mustache. What do you mean miss
You
it?
can see it from space.
I love how they send the stewardess out to the helicopter with the whirling death blades on it.
Yep. So the movie. Sorry.
So
guys. Sorry,
you want
I didn't mean to.
So you want to go into Paris and get laid?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, no shit.
well, he's got a pig for her. He said,
Yeah,
I
Porky
believe.
Pig.
Porky Pig.
Porky
yeah.
Pig.
Yes.
Darth comments?
No. I don't know what the hell is happening. I didn't even watch the
Captain?
entire movie.
So, Jason, you and I got to look at each other. Captain?
Captain.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's two captains.
Because men did those sorts of
They
things.
looked out for
Yes.
each other. You know,
Yes.
I've got a girlfriend, you don't.
By the way, did you notice that the license plate
Notice
on the
how
car
he gestured
has
toward me when
15
he said
numbers
that?
on it?
Yes.
No, I'm going to go back because you have to see.
We keep.
Look,
working
no,
rewind.
no,
I know.
seriously. Look at the license plate on the car they get into. Because
It's a Citroen, by the
yeah,
way.
it is a Citroen. I'm imagining the police officer who has to remember 7114 BZ. Oh, wait, shit. Wait, hang on. I'll go back. 7 shit. Wait, no, 7. I lost it. Just let him go.
Bravo. Okay. Yeah, he drove away. So.
Yeah.
We've got
I was
6.
about to NATO phonetic in it, but
Bravo Zulu Romeo.
I was trying, but then the car drove away. Oh, I think I told you, gentlemen, this the other day. I was confirming a username for work, and I told the lady in NATO phonetic what my username was, and she was like, "Ma'am, that really shouldn't be that long."
Jesus Christ.
And I was like,
You're not serious.
"No, I'm dead serious. It's very short. It's Lima Charlie 29 Delta Bravo. And
29er Delta Bravo. Didn't say niner.
no, but she was like, ma'am, it really shouldn't be that long. And I
That's
was
a
like,
really
I'm going to
long-
smack you in the face.
Was her name Karen? Yeah, because that's
you
a very.
love that I taught you what a Karen
Yeah.
is. My
He's used
God.
it like 3 times.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
It's-
What's
yeah.
funny, he's not even married to a Karen.
No.
Like, his wife is awesome. Like,
I'm married to a Gloria.
Did you say Glory
Gloria.
Hall?
No, because my wife is Italian. No, that was college.
Well, that's how you.
Have we seen
Really,
the sweetest thing?
right after college.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I believe New York has some new restrictions on how you should have relationships to prevent your face from touching another person's face. And they
So-
said perhaps you should have a relationship through a wall. And I believe that's called a.
Yeah, there's a name for that. Yeah.
Right. See, look, we've lost our.
We broke her.
She's
She doesn't.
she's wilting.
I'm melting.
You see, Darth, a glory hole is a method
Necesito
that homosexual
excitar
men use to.
immediatamente. Oh my God.
You know, if we get those press passes, I believe we can go actually see one in action.
Yes.
I've heard people who have been there before.
I sure would love to see it angry.
I have a press pass. You just wanted to tag along.
I have a press pass.
Well, we
Mine
now
says-
that we own a
I
media
have a
company,
press
yes,
pass,
but
yes.
press
Press,
passes.
push.
I was the one who told you that. Oh my God!
What? Sorry, that was the Three
I love
Stooges
it. I don't even have to do it. It's great.
Oh my God, Adam!
Hammond, you idiot. Oh,
So-
wait. The French prostitute is.
Well, no,
She'll be at the sex party.
We don't know.
We don't know that yet. Yes.
They are in love.
She's very much into.
Who's
what-
in love? I don't even know what the.
She's
hell
very
is
much
happening.
into. She is providing what they refer to as the GFE. Do you know what that means? The girlfriend experience. That's a term prostitutes use.
It
Is
costs
it-
the extra $200.
Yeah,
for
it
that.
costs you a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's the whole girlfriend experience where they talk to you about.
I believe that's the most
know.
high pitched I've ever been around
Yeah.
you gentlemen.
They-
What?
She squealed.
Yeah, they discuss things like
Like a
your
porky pig.
feelings and all. Normal prostitute is
Hey.
just
I will hit you.
okay.
I'm
We
quoting
gotta
the film.
wait. All right, we got to take a break. We're way
Yeah.
we're way over on the
Okay.
clock. Okay,
God help me.
so we are going to take a quick break,
It is disaster month, and that's
and
why
we've had our first disaster.
We've had our first frickin' disaster. It just goes to show. Mercury's in frickin' retrograde, and all the equipment is breaking down, and it's apocalypse now, baby. So
For
yeah.
those of you who don't know or who may be in the market for a laptop, don't buy a Dell laptop.
don't do it.
They're garbage because
What was that a quote from? Don't do it.
Oh, that's Bob's Burgers, of course.
No.
It's,
The only other obvious answer. Come on. Rick and frickin' Morty.
Rick and
anyway,
Morty, yeah.
don't do it.
I meant to do that.
We know.
yeah.
I'll take the
Yeah.
applause.
Yeah.
So, hindsighters, we do apologize because we lost video. We only have audio now.
Just when
and-
George Kennedy was going to
Now-
come for a second
Yeah,
time.
we're going to have to describe the visual of
Yes.
George Kennedy having sex with a French prostitute. Okay, so
I don't
his
wanna hear
hair
this.
is sort of like a blondish. His skin, I would say pink with a rosy, sweaty dew.
There's a
the
fireplace.
English
There's a
major is
fireplace.
not going to chip in.
No.
She's not.
No, she is laying on top of them. They're having wonderful conversation. He is deeply in love.
Yeah, and that
Fallen in love.
he's having sex with that one woman from Mad TV.
Yes. Concorde.
You know what I'm talking about.
Maybe you should hit
I love
play,
you so
or we'll be describing
yeah.
we'll be describing the same scene for hours.
Yeah, I mean,
They will, the hindsighters. Darth Vader will
in
move
fairness,
swiftly on.
In fairness to the French prostitute, that we don't know at this point is a French prostitute. We don't know that.
No.
She's got a very unconventional look, with her hair, but she's very attractive.
Absolutely.
But it's a very sort of like, like you take a couple looks and you realize, no, she's hot. After thinking about it, I come to the
that is
conclusion.
so mean. You take a couple
No,
of looks
no.
and you discover that she's hot. What is wrong?
Well, as opposed to going, well, after 3 looks, I've determined she's not.
That's even
She's
meaner.
hot. She's hot.
Now, I love George Kennedy, but clearly being a prostitute with him
Okay.
would be a hard job because I think he smells like
What is
Bengay.
an hard
Probably
job
so,
with
yeah.
George Kennedy?
Yes.
Well, now, gentlemen, I'm feeling all insecure. How many looks did it take you to figure out that I'm not attractive?
Well, I look at myself every day.
Wait, we're comparing me against you? I'm
And-
screwed.
No. No.
You're so much prettier than I am.
No.
Anyway.
He's got purty lips.
Yeah.
Ew.
Well, yeah, I
Those
do.
Didn't,
I know I do. I
was
mean,
unaware that
I-
Mr.
yeah.
Brown had such affiliations until right.
I think I just watched Deliverance again. That's why.
Are you a committed homosexualist?
Oh, poor Bert. We miss him. Anyhow,
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
You know what that means?
tell
Of course
us.
she knows.
Tell our,
She
tell our
knows.
listeners. Tell
She
our
knows.
listeners.
It's the equivalent of te amo. Te amo. Je t'aime.
Te amo mucho.
The French, you know, their language is just, it's fantastic.
You're a hot mess.
No, they're, you know, the French is just so, it's so fucking French.
I'd say it's funny
You know?
because I'd say the three of us have a smattering of French between us, but like Adam and I speak
Je parle
Spanish.
français un très petit peu.
Yeah, exactly. Un petit peu.
Un très petit peu.
Yeah.
So we've all been in serious relationships for a long period of time, but
We have.
the scene there with the guy, you know, about the woman wanting when he says "I love you." Do you remember like when you were first?
Oh,
dating,
yeah.
It's like, oh, when is he gonna say? When's she gonna say "I love you"?
Yeah.
When I say "I love you," is she
Who
gonna
says
say
it first?
Is she gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I
What?
really like. You.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
I
Okay,
like you a lot.
No, there we go. Let's go round
Yeah,
table,
yeah.
round robin,
Yeah.
and say the craziest "I love you" story. Like from it doesn't have to be from our significant other now. It
Oh,
can,
yeah,
it
no, I
can
know.
just be the best one. So, what's the best story that you guys have about being told "I love you" or you telling the
No, I
girl
win.
"I love you"?
I win.
Oh, do you?
Because I said to a girl, this is in high school. You know, in high school when you're really, really stupid, and you know, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say I love this
You're
girl.
gearing up for it.
Yeah, I
for,
love her.
Yeah, for a
I
husband.
said I love her, and then she sneezed in my face. And it's like,
Oh no!
I love you, but you. And I'm like covered in snot.
That's a hot mess. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm with you. Okay.
and I became a cynic. That was the moment.
No. Oh, wait. Nah, that changed because I thought you became a cynic the minute you went to go see Star Wars Episode 1.
Well,
and
that's
then
true.
there was Jar
that was
Jar
college.
freaking Binks.
That was college.
I
That was
know.
when my childhood died.
Yeah. Okay. So just
innocence
remember,
was lost. And I determined there is no good. I became an atheist.
I stopped believing in God because of Jar Jar
I burned the
Binks.
scriptures.
because of Jar Jar Binks.
So now, wait here. George Kennedy
Oh, right.
now recognizes that she was a prostitute, and as the Frenchman says,
You
yes,
goddamn son of a
he was.
bitch.
What are friends for? Both laughing.
Yes. And he- how much
dear
would you
God.
like a friend like that?
Yes.
And then when they're flying to Russia, and he's like, I know a girl who works for the French embassy.
That's a knee slapper. Yes.
I want to go back in time.
Them nerdy boys of mine. Anyway,
I actually, the thing that made me want to go back in time
Hold
was when they showed them going in France, going to the restaurant, the small cafe, which really,
Nescafe.
they don't really, they do exist in France today in Paris, but it's not the same thing. Where it was like you go to the small cafe in Paris, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like you find a table. I'm gonna go use the phone because we don't have cell phones.
That's the thing that kids don't remember today is just finding a table.
Yeah,
Not waiting to be seated,
Right.
no call aheads, no reservations,
Right.
no nothing. Just finding a freaking table.
The $20 table.
yeah.
What?
You're not familiar with the $20
I am not.
table?
Tell me.
Oh. You go to the maitre d' and he says, well, sorry, sir, the wait will be
Oh,
about
you
4
slip him a $20
hours."
Yeah.
bill.
You're like,
Oh, okay.
Could you check one more time and slip him the $20? And the next thing is, oh, we can seat you right now.
I
So
remember
smooth.
the first time I went to Las Vegas. with my buddies in college, and we went to a show. The Rat Pack is Back, which was like a complete reenactment of a show from 1966.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah, the whole thing.
All the guys.
We're walking in, and we go up to the podium, and the girl's like, "Oh, here, give me your tickets." Okay, great. And she goes, "Where would you like to sit?" And I go, "What do you mean?"
Not sure.
And she's like, "You know how this works." And me and my three friends go, "How much? Do you have any money? Do you have any money?" And we're like, "I got $5. Come on.
Yeah.
Here, we got like $15."
Okay, so before we get too off track and before we dare talk about the movie, Mr. Brown, tell us our most awkward I love you story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to go round robin and
I
do
was
it.
gently trying to change the subject so it wouldn't come to me.
Nerp. Stop saying nerp.
Nerp. Well, I remember when I was younger, the phrase "I love you" had a lot of importance to it, and I wasn't going to say
Not
it
that it
unless
does now.
I wasn't going to say it unless I really meant it. But then, once I lived in New York City, you just said it to get what you want, right? It was more of a negotiating standpoint. Of course, I love you too.
You can just say New York.
You can just say New York. So, okay.
Archer.
To that end,
Yes.
when was the first time, like, about what age was the first time that y'all said I love you? Because
12.
Mine was about 16.
No, I remember
Yeah.
my first girlfriend.
Aw,
She was
12?
She was 12. Yeah.
Wow.
I kissed her too.
Ooh.
he kissed a girl and he liked it.
It was closed mouth.
Oh, that's
It was a
adorable.
peck.
Yeah, little peck. She
I-
tried. It's funny when we were kissing, she was trying to force her tongue in my mouth. I was like, what is she doing? I told my friend.
The fuck you doing, bitch?
I went to my friend. I said she was like trying to stick her tongue. It's like, dude, just let her.
Let her do it.
That's what she said.
Like-
Let her do it. I was just so naive.
I would like to put this out there. I did not do that to him when we did Much Ado About It.
No,
I did not do that.
She was a quintessential professional.
Anyway,
Very professional.
Okay, so on with your story about the first time you said I love you.
No, I used it very infrequently until I met my wife.
Yeah.
Until I met my
You
wife.
don't drop that bomb.
No.
No. Commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and with my wife, I met her and we had been dating for like a month, and I said, "Dad, I want you to freak out, but I want to tell you that I love you and I plan on marrying you. But doesn't have to be next week, doesn't have to be next year, whenever you're comfortable with it, but just know that that's how I feel in my heart."
Wow.
And she freaked out a little bit, but we got past
You
it.
slapped her a couple times and she got with the program.
You love me, damn it. You love me.
I'm going to marry you someday. Well, you hear those stories like, granddad, he went to her and he said, "I'm going to marry you." And she said, "No." And he went to her every single day, and so he basically stalked her,
broke her.
until he broke her.
Yeah, like a stallion.
That's very Parks and Recreation. There are no better words in the English language than "you broke me down."
Yeah. Fine.
God. All right, already. My God.
So what about you? You're on the.
Yeah, you brought it up.
I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Like a French man running through an airport with a bag full of money.
coming out of his
teachers
pants.
become the student, or the opposite of that. Anyway. Okay.
Not that at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's funny, Adam, that you said that a month in you told Andrea that you love her, because Josh did the same thing to me, and he told me on the freaking phone, and I've never stopped giving him grief about this, hindsighters. Never. We were talking.
That's like gold, though.
No,
It really is.
It was adorable, and
Yeah.
he was very sweet because y'all have both met Josh, and he's a very hardcore guy. He's
Or
an infantry
have
guy. Well,
I did. I really did.
I hired that first guy that you saw, but you
I didn't see his driver's license.
You've never seen Josh and Josh in the same room, but no, he actually Jim Halperded me, like Jim and Pam from The Office. Oh, Jason's
He did you?
He's gagging.
Halpert did me.
Oh, okay.
Jim Halpert from The Office. He liked me before we even started dating when he was with somebody else and I was with somebody else. It was a whole thing. And then, yeah, it was rather
Mr.
salty.
Drysdale.
No, Mr. Drysdale. But when we started dating about a month in, he called me because we talked about every single night on the phone. And he told me that he loved me about a month in. I was like, did you just tell me that you love me over the phone?
Well,
and I was so pissed.
Well, that's all for me.
I was so pissed.
Time to me hitting the old dusty trail.
Almost 6 years later, he's still in the game.
Aw.
So,
That's good.
whatever.
Meanwhile, every United Airlines passenger ever. Right here.
Imbecile.
I was
That
flying
applies to you
United.
too, honey. Love you.
But I don't understand this bit.
I don't either. It doesn't make any
sense. He had
sense.
to put the money around his chest or
I don't
something.
even know what's happening. I
and
hate
then it
this
came
movie.
out of his pants, and the guy was
Hate
going to
it.
give him back the money. He could have just said yes, but he had to run away.
Yeah.
And then the cop runs up. He goes, "I recognize him. He is the chief mechanic, Steve Smith, or something like that. That's a freelance man." Or Furlick the mechanic. How many cops know who the mechanics are?
Specifically, mechanic
knows?
on the Concorde.
I
For real.
know.
It's a hot mess.
God, that plane is beautiful. It's so fucking beautiful.
It's great. So this movie, is it over yet?
It's pretty close.
It's only got about an hour and a half left in
God
it.
help me.
It's longer than Dr. Zhivago.
The thing is, Adam did dress up, which you,
Yes.
hindsighters, you
Yes.
saw this
You saw it from the beginning
Thankfully.
until
we
everything failed.
until everything went to hell, until we went disaster month, which is what we're doing this month. We haven't picked.
It's all dead. It all died.
Anyway,
Jason's looking at all of his equipment. He's
yeah,
doing
but
an
they can't
inventory.
see that. So
That's why I'm trying to describe it.
Oh, he's trying to give some context.
I'm being descriptive. I'm not very descriptive. Normally, you are a describer. You're the official describer.
Normally, I do my Darth thing. Anyway, so we're also drinking variant beer. So, gentlemen, what are we drinking tonight?
Well, you know.
I know
what
it's
had.
so
you
very
know what I had.
damn different from what you always have. So
I've got my Norcross IPA because, damn it, I love it, and I'm afraid if I drink something else.
No, our
Yeah.
guest next week actually opted for the Norcross IPA.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
so
is a fantastic beer. It's
Yes, it
just really awesome. Now you have something different.
I do. It's called the Rubus. It's a fruited sour. What are you doing?
It's a smaller can.
Yeah.
It is.
You got a small can.
I do not have small cans. No one has ever accused me of that, Mr. Brown. Take it easy over there in the corner.
I didn't say cans. I said can. See, that's the wonderful thing about a woman.
I can't turn these crickets.
You can
up
use
any
the
louder.
term can to almost describe every part of their body.
Anyhow, what are you drinking, Mr. Brown?
Now, I'm not going to say what I always say, but it does remind me of my old friend Rob Lumen. It is.
Who's an idiot?
No, well, yes.
You said
are.
his name.
I know.
You've never said his full name on the show before.
Oh, I haven't.
No, you
you
haven't
haven't.
actually. Yeah.
Well, we just lost a
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
Love you, Rob.
Yes, but no, it's
Idiot.
Lumen. It's a nice. It's a wonderfully light beer. I love it very much. Just like a Hefeweizen.
It's like a French bread small,
Mm-hmm.
as Mr. Brown loves to say. But yeah, I am drinking something different this week, Jason. I'm drinking the Rubus. That's because it's got a little rhubarb in it and a little bit of other fruited sour flavor going on. Love me some variant beer.
It's a very
so,
complex beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's a smaller can. They did a shorter run on it for exactly that reason. So there you go. But there's a reason why we're watching this movie. I would like to
The Concorde almost crashes, but it doesn't.
Oh, it's a disaster movie.
And then
Oh my God,
Robert
though.
Robert Wagner, when he finds
Wagner.
out that his final plot to destroy the Concorde and kill his wife so she won't reveal the documents,
Yep.
he takes a pistol, he holds it about
At arm's
3
length.
feet away from his face.
like you do.
The worst possible
I was so
way
surprised.
of
Steve.
killing
Were you
yourself.
surprised? I was surprised.
I was surprised. And it was a gold pistol. It was a gold-plated pistol. You know, it was very, very
Sweet ass gun.
hoity-toity.
Yes,
And he shoots himself in the face. We assume he died.
but we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, but assuming.
Yeah, when they make Airport 2021 next year, and Robert Wagner's character will be like horribly mangled, like he's just shot like his jaw off. You know,
Like Ed Norton in Fight Club.
Fight
yes,
Club,
yeah.
I never understood how Ed Norton
never
got away
understood
with
that either.
I never did. But
What's that smell? I never understood that line either.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. How much mileage can you get out of that one?
So
Eric's rolling his eyes in Texas.
So a hatch blows on the Concorde. It decompresses. The
That's what
floor
she said.
cracks. Eddie Albert slides into the hole. They pull him out.
Which is based on a real thing. There was another flight. There was a 737 flying to Hawaii that the exact same thing happened. One passenger, his seat, out
Flew
the
out.
plane.
Damn.
And can you imagine? I mean, there's lots of ways to go.
Hell of a ride.
That's got to be up there with one of the worst.
That
Yeah. I mean, this is actually the only scene. I love the scene with the girls dancing, though.
Of course you do.
Marianne and her friend.
Daphne and Velma.
And the director said, Jimmy, get on your knees so you don't block the girls. He's on his knees dancing around with
She's got her pantyhose on too.
And her Coco Chanel shoes. But then I love the shot of the carpet splitting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about this because this movie, the number 4 of a 4-movie franchise, and everyone just ripped on this movie. They hated it. I actually watched this.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, everyone. They marketed it as a comedy because they thought no one's going to buy this as a serious movie.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this earlier.
Look at this shot right here with Eddie Albert sitting and the seat. The floor begins to separate.
I didn't finish the movie, so let us know what's happening.
Well,
the plane is literally falling apart.
Slowly decompressing, and then you got the pilots doing a very pilot-y thing going, the yoke is kind of vibrating.
Yeah. Vibration.
I don't know.
They're about to nerd out again, listeners.
I watched this movie.
Prepare.
I think it's a really good movie. I actually enjoy it. I know it's got some stupid stuff in it, but... Ant-Man versus the Wasp or this, I'm going to watch this.
So go ahead and spoil it. What happens, Adam, since Jason's been talking for like 10 straight minutes?
So the hatch blows, they lose all their fuel, so they can't make it to the airport. So luckily, the Frenchman has done some skiing at a local ski resort, so they call ahead.
In the Alps.
In the Alps, they throw a bunch of, it's a powder, it's a soft powder. We can land in the soft powder. So they throw a bunch of flags down, they make a makeshift landing strip, right? And then they land in the snow. And it doesn't end there, folks.
No.
It doesn't end there because fuel is leaking.
Yes.
Okay? And the snow is collapsing the roof. So they have to pull everyone out, and they get almost everyone out, but the woman forgets the documents. So she has to run back out into the plane, gets the documents, runs back out again. George Kennedy being the great captain.
Why are the documents important?
The documents are the ones that have the signatures of Robert Wagner that he sold weapons to the North Vietnamese, to the Libyans, to all of those people.
I just love the fact that they go, well, shouldn't the light be on? And the flight engineer presses the check button,
and
lights everything up, and that one light is not lit up. And it's like, that's how that would happen.
Exactly.
Actual planes have crashed because of that.
Because my nerdy boys in the studio, they tend to know things like this. So is this pretty realistic or no?
It's
a slow decompression. Nothing really would have happened. They would have had to dip down.
I love that they really know this, hindsighters.
If they would have brought the plane to like 7,000, 8,000 feet,
they
would have
been fine. They'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Listen to this, my nerdy boys. They know the answer to this question. I love it.
There was a flight in the Everglades that actually they crashed.
Everglades is in the southeastern part of the United States of America for all of you Australians and French people and Japanese.
Oh, they know the Everglades. The Australians know the Everglades.
Which, by the way, is going to get a sandstorm from the Sahara.
Yes.
In about a week, so.
Yeah. Maybe a hurricane out of it too.
At this point, it's just Emotep from The Mummy. Yeah. We're really worried about it. Katie, You brought this on us. It's all your fault.
At this point in 2020, if Imhotep showed up, it would be like, dude, get in the back.
I know. Get in line.
Where's Brendan Fraser when you need him?
You got
Behind the Hornets.
Yeah, there's so. Did we skip
please,
over
they
the
were
Murder
just a
Hornets?
they were a subplot.
We just like
that never actually happened. Come on.
I guess the directors cut. They said no.
It was too much of a subplot, and it would have taken too much to shoot it. And nah, we're out.
I'm hoping 2021 will be directed by David Lynch. Because then it'll be just like mind-altering, awesome, weird shit, you know? Like, yeah.
Can we just go?
Oh, who died this week?
Oh,
we need to mention this.
yeah.
The director.
Joel Schumacher.
The director of one of our favorite bad movies.
Yeah, it was a bad movie. Don't get us wrong, and he took credit for how bad it was.
He was a gentleman.
He was a badass and a gentleman in and of himself. Joel Schumacher passed away this week at, I want to say 80.
It was 80.
Yeah.
You know, so he had a great run.
And
he had a great run.
He really did. He was a talented man. Like we love to make fun of him in his older age and stuff, but seriously, hindsighters, we miss him.
Yeah, he was the guy who said,
too bad.
Don't blame the screenwriters.
Don't blame
Don't
George
blame the
Clooney."
actors.
Yeah.
Don't blame anybody
Nobody.
else.
Mm-mm.
It's
Just
on me.
And that's a man right
That's
there.
a man.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Bilbo Baggins.
I know Ian Holm died too.
he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a couple of deaths this week, and that's just...
Lilo Dallas Monte Pass. That's my favorite Ian
that's
Holm
on my
movie.
list.
Yeah,
so,
my favorite Ian Holm movie.
Hindsighters, just so you know, we actually have developed a list. The three of us, we're not just leaving the movie/TV suggestions up to our guests anymore. The three of us are going to be suggesting things, and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
But Fifth Element is definitely, it
Yes.
should be on my list if it isn't already. I thought it was, but if it isn't, I'm adding it.
Yes.
So whatever. Yeah. So
I'm gonna make a bold decision here and say that probably people are tired of this movie.
oh my god.
We can wrap it.
I think we should probably go
Yeah,
ahead
this
and wrap
movie's
it
a hot
up. Yeah.
mess. So I didn't even see
But
the whole
is
thing.
it really though?
I didn't see the whole thing.
I don't think
'cause
it is a
Adam
hot-
didn't tell me until 2 hours
Yeah,
before.
look, normally I would agree. I'd say it's a hot mess. I'm actually watching this thinking it's a very competently made
I'm
movie.
glad you enjoyed it,
It's
Jason.
shot well. The
so
script
glad.
is good. The acting is good. There's really nothing. Yeah, okay, it's inaccurate. Big deal.
It's a mess.
And face it, the passengers are pretty tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
they
hardy.
They live through a lot, and assume crash
I used
position.
to ski
They had to do that multiple times. Assuming.
I just wish Jimmy Walker would have said dynamite one time.
Dynamite!
Dynamite!
Well, you got mad at me when I mentioned like Mushmouth and stuff for Lethal Weapon because
Yeah.
those kids hanging out in the street. You were like, "That's racist." I was like, "No, it isn't."
Yeah, but that's actually Jimmy J.J. Walker.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was his catchphrase.
That's fair. But I was like, it's just the Mushmouth gang. The
I
Fat Hour
love
gang.
this when he does the wedding ceremony himself.
Yep.
He
right
looks
here.
like John Carradine.
He kind of does. He reminded. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
What have y'all done to me?
I just
Seriously.
remember him on Tattletales.
Yeah. He's actually a musician. He's got like 12 albums. I can't
Yeah,
remember
oh,
his
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he does the whole like wedding thing, and then
Yeah.
the stern Eastern European coach is like, "God bless you both," and she like,
Well, if not now, when? Right?
yeah, no shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're about to go down.
They really did a good job
each
shooting
other?
this.
Yeah.
What?
This is a really, really good, well shot scene. Look at the shot of the Concorde.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, this is well done. I can't really call this a bad movie.
And you can tell it's not a model. That's an
No, yeah,
that's
it's an actual thing. Yeah.
Unlike what we'll finally see when we visit Jason's home this Saturday.
Yes.
We're hanging out as actual people on Saturday, and
Whatever
we're
will
visiting
we
Jason's
say?
bat cave. I'm taking pictures for our Instagram.
Do it.
Get ready. It's gonna be awesome.
Now
But-
I got scuba shit in there too. So
Yeah,
I got all kinds of
You
shit.
scuba?
I got gun shit. I got model shit. I got
scuba?
woodworking shit. Scuba shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got such random hobbies. So tell us about this, Jason, because you haven't talked about it at all. What did you and David just do this week?
This weekend, I completed my confined water scuba training. Mm-hmm. So I'm now a referral diver.
He did not get eaten by a shark.
No. And
That
I'll be in August. I'll be going on my checkout dives, and once I get my checkout dives done, I will be officially certified as an open water diver.
Oh dear God.
Yes.
Is it Nowie or Patty?
SSI.
Oh, SSI.
SSI,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
And then what's the adventure? What's happening after this? Like once you get certified, what are you aiming for?
Oh, Hawaii, end of the year. I'm gonna do some reef diving in Hawaii.
You know there are a lot of sharks.
Yeah,
off
but
the
sharks
reefs.
don't scare me
They don't
though.
Off
mess
of
with
Yeah,
reefs.
I know. That's what
They
I'm saying.
do too. Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
guys?
Well, you remember Anthony Jeselnik's shark party.
Shark party.
You know, it's only one in a million.
So
chance.
Adam, let me ask you: are you and I throwing a shark party when Jason gets
yes.
eaten by a great white
He
shark?
will not get eaten. He won't even
God.
get bit.
No. And if I do get eaten by a great white shark, I want you to put on my tombstone, eaten by a fucking great white shark.
I don't know. I think Stop by Patient Zero is still better.
I don't know if you actually get eaten by a great white shark. I don't know. I'm going to advertise that.
It's you and Quint. I mean,
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
people does that really happen to?
And then after that,
I can give you those.
I am
numbers.
going on, there's a place called the Cocos Islands off the coast of Panama.
Ooh.
And there is a ship
This
called,
man makes so much money. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
where's he going? My God.
actually, scuba trips are not that bad. Really not. If you want to spend a week with all your food and your booze included, it's actually not that bad.
Well, that's cool.
You know, no, the Akonos Aggressor, it's a live aboard trip. I'll spend 6 nights, 7 days on this ship, and all we do all day, every day,
You
is
taking
dive.
this trip by yourself or?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Are you wreck diving or reef diving?
No, it's reef diving.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to get certified for wreck diving. I will, but I got to wait for that though.
What's the difference?
Wreck diving? Anything you want to do that's different than just the normal open water diving, you've got to take a class. There's something that is a new danger they have to tell you about,
Okay.
or just a new technique that you got to do. So it might be as simple as, if you're going to go wreck diving, don't stir up all the silt and ruin it for everybody else,
Okay.
which is common. So,
right.
Also, in your open water, you always have a nice escape route.
oh, I will not do cave diving.
In a wreck, you can go inside of the wreck
Yeah.
and you can't get out unless you know where you've come from.
Dale here at the office where our studio is at, he was talking to me about some friends of his who would go cave diving, where they would go through holes so narrow they would have to take their tank off
Yes.
No.
and stick their tank forward
no.
and then squeeze through the hole.
Absolutely not.
No,
Nope.
no. And they had friends who,
Absolutely
when
not.
they found their bodies, you have a slate that you can write on to communicate to other divers, and literally they would find
Hell,
bodies with "Tell my wife I love her" written on their slate. Yeah.
Oh, gee.
No.
Nope. Stop saying nope. Nope. Nope.
No, I'll take a shark any day of the week.
Well,
before I
it
take
depends
that.
on what the shark does to you, because sometimes they just bite you, and sometimes they actually kill you.
And
So,
sometimes they just identity theft you.
yeah, and that's just
Anyway,
the bitchiest thing ever. So this movie,
episode's over.
we started off disaster.
Go
month, and
home.
We ended it with disaster, sharks and diving. I don't know. We loosely tied it together.
I'm gonna get a GoPro. I'll film it. I'll film it all. Actually, when I go on my cruise in Loch Lomond, there is actually a great white shark in that lake,
Oh,
but he's made of fiberglass, so it's
break
cool.
that noise, Mr. Brown.
I gotta just say, I do love the way they closed this movie. Everyone escaped. The plane exploded.
Yep.
Roll
you
credits.
too.
Yep.
No epilogue.
Oh no,
like,
they show a flying Concorde.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, going across the sun.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie.
Roll credits.
My grandma's
Maggie
name.
May.
Baby, are you okay? George, he
she's-
loves everyone. Baby, are you okay?
She's half his
Oh, look,
age.
and they're banging now. Oh, no, that's actually banging on the... Sorry. I read the subtitles. That's what I saw.
That's what it said.
It did say banging. George, he's
You're a hot
he's good
mess.
with the ladies.
George is already, he's done it twice, we know, in this movie.
But apparently it hurts when he pees.
Watch
now.
your head.
We don't know why.
Yeah. You got the escargot. And then David Warner's going to tell his wife to go to hell. Sarah?
Let's
Who's
sigh.
Sarah?
Less sigh, hindsighters. Anyhow, this has
Wrap it
been-
up.
I'm
Thank you,
trying, damn it.
Hindsighters, for joining us.
Sorry. This is
Wait, is he about to shoot himself in the face?
I'm gonna
This is
hate you.
I think our audience is. So let's end this quickly.
Anyhow, Hindsiders, we appreciate you listening, especially for this disaster of a disaster episode for Disaster Month. We super appreciate you tuning in.
Love it.
For your drive time, your listening time, your quarantine, whatever the hell time. We don't even care kind of time. We just appreciate you tuning in. We love you. This has been Jason, Jade. Yeah, because you know my name at this point. And
Adam B.
Really?
Yes.
Really? This has
And
been...
good night.